Welcome back, guys. Another live podcast. The TG podcast is back. We're here to talk about the Manchester United result. Thomas Partey injury blow. It is international break as well. So, yeah, we're going to dive through everything to with Arsenal. And, of course, we're here with some amazing guests as always. The Man United fan has disappeared. There's a surprise, guys. Oh, wait, he's back now. Don't worry. Anyway, let's introduce the panel. Start off with my fellow. Look at this, guys. We're rocking the Italian. Forza Italia, my fellow Italian, is with us today. Luca. Ciao, Luca. Come stai, Luca?
Come stai? Va bene. Yeah, I'm good, man.
Yeah, man. It's good to see you again, my man. We're going to talk about all Arsenal, and then it is international break. This geezer's taking the mic. We've got Tom with the England jersey or England shirt on. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, thank you. Although the international break will probably be a bit boring with Gareth Southgate. I am looking forward to it. My man Eddie Nketiah up top for England for the first time. So that should be interesting to watch. But yeah, thanks for having me on as always.
No worries. And of course, we've got Rory. He's not wearing an international shirt. He's wearing, I think he said a pajama top.
A pajama top. I didn't notice.
Yes, mate. Welcome back, Rory. How you doing, my friends?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, Callum Wilson settings, innit? I'm toothless and at the moment I'm shameless because I'm ready to cook these flipping United fans. And you know what the funny thing is? I came back from work this afternoon, walked down my street, and then I see Dallo still sliding. And I'm like, what's going on there? What's man playing that, rude boy? Like, other than that, I'm all right.
Bro's racing against the Lamborghini.
Yes, and then we do have a Man United fan. I don't know if he'll join, but I didn't. Oh, and now he's gone. They all disappear, guys, isn't it? It's like I'm just not surprised. They all just disappear. He says his device not connected, so I can't add him if his device not connected. Anyway, let's get started, guys. Comment your thoughts down below as well. Everyone in the chat. I will try and read as many comments as possible. But yeah, we're gonna go right into it. Of course, talk about that amazing victory over Man United. It's always amazing to beat them. They kept banging on about the pre-season win. They beat us 2-0, so it was amazing to beat them. And the way we did it as well after that, especially that offside goal. All their fans got Garnacho giving all the big un, and then we go down the other end. Jesus, as you said, guys, absolutely destroyed Diego Dalot. Obviously Declan Rice as well. What a first goal to score. Last minute settings. And I'm going to start with Luca, mate. Obviously, we did do the fan cam. But Luca, mate, have you recovered from yesterday, my friend?
What, my match reaction? No. Yeah, I think it was really good yesterday. Arsenal getting a win against Manchester United. It's been a quite chill day today. Gym and also Arsenal getting a 3-1 win over Man United. Look, I think yesterday we were very lucky. Yesterday, I said in my match reaction yesterday. I think the first half, I think it was an even game between Arsenal and Man United. Possession-wise, we did start very well, but I think what we really struggled yesterday was missing Thomas Partey in that midfield. I think when you had Kai Havertz and Odegaard and Declan Rice in that midfield, I felt people like Kai Havertz were slowing the game down. There was no tempo in that midfield. We kind of slowed down a little bit. And then I think individual players playing very well yesterday. I think Declan Rice was my man of the match. He was unbelievable yesterday. I don't care what anyone says, he's not worth £105 million. But sometimes you have to pay over the odds. And he's a world-class player. I don't care if people are saying, he's not up there with Jude Bellingham. He is up there with Jude Bellingham and that. And I know Bellingham and that are slightly better than Rice, but Rice is up there with the list. And I think Rice played very, very well. I think Martinelli's another good shout as well. He played really, really well yesterday, causing Wan-Bissaka problems. But I think with the goal with Manchester United on the first goal, what Marcus Rashford scored, I think leading up to that, I think the defence with Ben White and I think it was Saliba and Gabriel was on the other side of near Ramsdale on the edge of the post. I think the defence, we should have done better on that goal. I think leading up to that, I don't think it wasn't Ramsdale's fault. And then Odegaard goes and scores and makes it 1-1, and then it was the end-to-end game. But I want to talk about in the first half that with the whole Saka and Bruno Fernandes situation, I don't think Saka shouldn't have been booked. I don't.
If anything, it's foul on Saka, Luca.
Yeah, but I don't think he should have been booked.
You got books for getting fouled.
No, I don't think he should have been booked. I said in my match reaction yesterday, I said Bruno Fernandes was the one who got it first. And Lindelof should have been sent off yesterday. I think that was an absolute disgrace yesterday from Lindelof. He should have been sent off yesterday. And then the second half, like with the whole Kai Havertz situation, I don't think it wasn't a penalty. I think it was a dive. I think Anthony Taylor got it right. And then United go and make it 2-1. Do I think it was offside? I go back and watch it again today like 5 times. I don't think it was an offside. You might disagree with me, but I don't think it wasn't offside.
For me, with the penalty, I understand why he's saying he's dived. It was soft, but I swear he got sandwiched like between
that's what I said on my phone.
And who's the other one?
Havertz is running through. Havertz is directly running through, and
he's stuck in a Man United scumbag sandwich, mate.
Yeah, like, Luca, why would he go down when he's scoring goal?
Given that Man United had the same penalty last week against Forest, I felt like that was harsh. Not giving a penalty.
Also, Luca, why would he go down when he's through on goal like that?
Yeah, but the thing is,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he dived yesterday. For me, you can see the way his body position was when he was going on the floor. To me, I think he dived. I think the referee got it right. Like you said it in your watch along, I was in your comments yesterday. I put referee cheated. And then I went to go back and watched it back again. I felt like he dived. And I felt got it right. And I personally, when the referee went to VAR, I thought they were going to give it. Not just because Anthony Taylor loves Arsenal. But
loves Arsenal? I don't know about that.
Anthony Taylor does love Arsenal. Every time when Anthony Taylor referees Arsenal, even in FA Cup matches against Chelsea can't stand Anthony Taylor.
Yeah, maybe one game Anthony Taylor got everything wrong, pretty much. But that last FA Cup meeting, I don't think the guy did anything wrong. But of course, that was back in 2020, like in lockdown. Bloody hell! I don't want to send myself back to the dark days of Arsenal Football Club. But I genuinely don't think he's done anything wrong, apart from the FA Cup final in 2017. In my opinion, right? It's happened when Chelsea have played elsewhere, whenever Anthony Taylor's the referee. I remember Chelsea-Tottenham last season, and Chelsea didn't get a free kick for Romero pulling Cucurella's hair, for God's sake. he was trying to hand Conte another wig, for God's sake, in his collection. So, look, I feel like Anthony Taylor is terrible for Chelsea, but he's not an Arsenal fan, all right? Of course, we know that already. But I don't think he does anything wrong when it comes to Arsenal games. It's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, Luca. So going back to obviously your point, yeah, with the penalty, I understand why. I agree it was very soft. You know, I didn't really see any. There may be a little bit from the ankle, but about the offside goal, yeah. Did you just say it was? You think it was onside, or was it? Do you think he was offside?
I want to go back at one about 3 or 4 or 5 times. I think he was just onside. I think he was because who was it who lost the ball for Arsenal? Was it Havertz in the middle? I can't remember who.
No, Havertz came off, didn't he?
Yeah, I can't remember who lost the ball for us.
Who lost the midfield? I couldn't tell from a distance, but I think he was just onside. Quite frankly, I think he was kindly onside, but I don't care because we got the 3 points and that's all that matters. But Declan Rice, for me, I think the reason why I was calling out Mikel Arteta out during 1-1 because I was worried. I know it was a bit of an embarrassment compliment, but the reason why I said that because I was worried that why did he make the substitutions late? Like this is the problem. Yes, we were very lucky to win yesterday, right? That wasn't a brilliant performance, okay? And yes, he got the substitutions right just about. I gave Arteta a 6 on my player ratings. And he got the team right. He got Eddie Nketiah. For me, Eddie Nketiah, look, I don't think he wasn't even that bad. He wasn't brilliant.
No,
I don't think he wasn't that bad, okay, yesterday. And yes, he bought Gabriel Jesus. I think Fabio Vieira, again, is knocking on the door. I said it on Josh's fan cam yesterday.
Luca, you're doppelganger, mate.
Yeah, I scored the win in the penalty shootout. So quite frankly, I would always remember that in my career on YouTube. But what am I? I'm just a YouTuber. But technically, look, I think Vieira for me was brilliant. He'll be knocking on the door. Like Vieira's having better performances than Smith Rowe. And Smith Rowe's got to be looking at thinking, what have I got to do to get my fitness back up? What have I got to do of being the same player as he was 2 seasons ago? He had a good summer for England under 21s, but that's under 21s. Oh. So Fabio Vieira, right? He was brilliant yesterday. He was brilliant against Fulham last week. Like, the only thing I got annoyed with Arteta is that why did he not bring people like Trossard and that? Like, what does he have to do for... Look, Trossard...
What about Smith Rowe, Luca?
Yes, Smith Rowe as well. Like, Smith Rowe, there was rumours that he was going to leave on deadline day and go to Chelsea. I knew Smith Rowe was going to stay because he loves Arsenal. I think in January he might go out on loan somewhere and someone will snap him up because he needs some minutes. He can't sit on the bench throughout the whole season because Smith Rowe is struggling and people like Fabio Vieira are starting to perform now. Where's this Fabio Vieira been? Where people would criticise him. Maybe he's gone to the gym. Maybe he's started to bulk up. Maybe he's learned from Josh Millington. Or maybe he's watched your YouTube channel from your second YouTube channel. Yeah. But quite frankly, what I liked about yesterday, about Arteta, that it worked. It worked. The substitutions, and we got very, very lucky. And he went back to basics yesterday, and that should be the back four. Ben White, Saliba, Gabi and Zinchenko was the back four pretty much most of the period of last season in our title challenge. That should be the back four going into the Everton game after the international break. And that's why I was critical with Arteta. And I think with one thing I will finally say before you move on with someone else, I think with the performances, I'm not liking the performances. Right. These are not the performances of last season. And what I want to see in the international break, if players are not going to the international break, like out of the whole Arsenal starting 11, I think Ben White's the only one who's not going. Jorginho as well.
Yeah, he's not
getting into the team or not getting into the internationals. Organise some behind closed door matches against other teams. Championship teams haven't, of course, don't have many.
Luca, play Watford again like we always do because the training grounds like next week, isn't it?
Play Watford. Play Luton Town. Play anyone. So, quite frankly, organise some championship teams.
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing is, Ramsdale and Saliba are not going to play in the international break. Who else is going? I mean,
Did it not get
Zinchenko, I
called
believe,
up?
is going for Ukraine, so he'll play. Who else? I mean, Declan Rice obviously will play. Saka will play. I'm not too sure whether Jesus has gone. Has he gone? I know Gabriel's gone.
No, I know
Martinelli
Gabriel.
as well.
I'll
I
have
think
a look.
Jesus has missed out because of injury. So, yeah, he's going to be fit. And Nketiah's not going to start, though, is he? Let's be frank with you guys. Like, come on, he's not going to start. It's going to be Harry Kane, isn't it? So, Martinelli, I don't think he's going to start either because they've got Vinicius. I mean, Brazil will start a strong team, won't they? Because they've got such a strong 11. So, yeah, I don't think we'll have many players playing for their nations during the international break.
No, Jesus hasn't gone to the international break. So Gabriel and Martinelli, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's no Jesus. So why can't Jesus scored yesterday? And he's about 85-90% fit, because yesterday when he scored the first goal, he looked like he was 100% fit. So I personally think get some behind closed door matches and give Jesus a runabout in training. Obviously, be cautious because obviously you don't want to overdo yourself, but therefore maybe give him a run of minutes behind closed doors, and then have that confidence going into the Everton game. He'll be hungry again.
I want to come to, I 100% agree with you, Luke. I think we should definitely do that to keep the fitness up and all that stuff and to be sharp. We've got to come back against Everton away from home as well. Tough game. We've got to come back and put in a good performance against Everton because we don't like to do well there. But yeah, I want to come to with my man, Tom. Again, I know, of course, we did a fan cam yesterday, but anyone who missed that, just give your overall the game once again, my friends, and all the incidents, because Luke is saying it wasn't a penalty. Do you disagree with him? Do you agree with him? And also for the offside goal, my friend.
I think it was a penalty because he's been sandwiched by two players. It was Bruno and Wan-Bissaka just running into the side of him. And, you know, he's clean for own goal. He's got no real reason to dive. And he's gone down. If the players weren't there, he wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have gone down, and he would have probably missed it anyway. Let's be real. But another situation that I wanted to bring up was the hold on a second. Another situation I wanted to bring up was the Lindelof high leg on Nketiah. For me, that's a red card. I think that's a red card, to be completely honest, because, you know, it's a high leg, and yes, he's not the last man, but it's a high leg, and he's caught Nketiah in the face. To me, that's dangerous foul play.
Yeah. No, I just want to come in for a second. Remember the Granit Xhaka red card against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup?
Yeah,
that was more, I wouldn't say violent, because it's not violent flipping conduct, is it? But it's a high foot at the end of the day, and he got sent off for it.
Yeah.
Right? And back onto the penalty as well. Kai Havertz, people claiming that it's a dive, blah, blah, blah. Remember when David Luiz got sent off for letting the man go?
What, like every game?
Yeah. I remember that, where he basically I can't remember the striker's name, but the guy was through on goal and he clipped him with his knee. And that was given as a penalty. And we went down to 9 men, and the tactics went flew out the window. So it's just the consistency we moan about. It's not necessarily because it's Arsenal and we want, to have a go at referees. I don't like complaining about referees. We all don't. But at the end of the day, it's just consistency we ask for.
For me, as I said, that was a red card, and I don't know how he was sent off for that. But I've talked about the penalty, the red card. Yeah. In terms of the goals, I think the Jesus goal and the Odegaard goal, only pieces of nice play for me. You know, we were finding players in space. We were passing to all the players that were in space, and that worked for me. But I think the only times we actually got that and it looked good with a nice flow to it, with Havertz involved, were the goals. Like, for me, I bench Havertz. As one of you said, he slows the game down. And at the end of the day, we've just got, with a player like him in the team, we just end up passing the ball back. Loads of people were criticising Jorginho when he first came in, saying all he does is pass backwards and sideways. But for me, Kai Havertz, we're seeing with Kai Havertz in the team, we're seeing a lot more of it with Kai Havertz in the team than Jorginho. So would you start Jorginho for that game? No. I'd probably... I want to see Smith Rowe play, but if Havertz doesn't start, then I'll probably start Fabio Vieira, Luca himself. But yeah. I think on the Rashford goal as well, I think the defender should have got way closer to him, closed him down a lot better.
Yeah, fair enough, my friend. Then we come to Rory. Thoughts on obviously what everyone's been saying about, the incidents and the refs and all that stuff. I know you came on the fan cam yesterday as well, but yeah, your overall thoughts on the game and all the incidents as well, my friend.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest performance by any means, but what I will say is we were the better team by a long stretch. Before Man United scored, that was their only shot in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. Martinelli had a chance from outside the box in the second half. Saka had a chance in the second half. Havertz, of course, in the first. We could have finished that game with 5 goals minimum. But saying that we weren't that great, it just shows how dreadful Manchester United are. But of course, I'm glad that they are in turmoil at the moment, because they're just the crap these fans come up with. And speaking of Man United fans, is just beyond me. Really is. These lot. Don't forget, we're given the big un, right, after beating us in a pre-season friendly in Las Vegas, wherever it was, and they thought they could march onto the Emirates and come and dominate us. Well, I'm sorry. And then also they have the flipping audacity to complain about VAR. Get rid of it. It's this, that, the other. Mate, if VAR wasn't there in the game yesterday, then Arsenal wouldn't have had a penalty. Sorry. So we would have technically been winning the game, or we would have technically been in a similar situation. So, mate, and also the foul on Johnny Evans, right, from the corner. That was more of a foul on Gabriel, not Johnny Evans, because as Declan Rice was going to pull the trigger, Evans then pulls Gabriel back. So it was, for anything, more than a foul on Gabriel than Johnny Evans. And then the Højlund penalty. I mean, come on, grow up, right? We're honestly going to be here all season. Right, every time we go back to this game, it's, oh yeah, enjoy your fraudulent win, Arsenal. Like, please. I'm sick to death. Like, these lot have not got the right to complain about refereeing decisions and, oh, we got robbed. Now, how about you just crap, right? The offside as well was offside, right? Gabriel's IQ defending in that situation was smart. Because at first I panicked. I'm like, God, he's leaning forward. But when they reverted to the reverse angle, you can see Garnacho is slightly ahead of Gabriel. And then you've got United fans on Twitter screenshotting images. And you know when you screenshot an image and then you can, of course, draw whatever on the image to make it stand out, whatever. Right, that's what they did with the offside. They screenshotted the image and then drew a line. just a random line in front of Garnacho. Let me give you some advice, all right? The offside lines, the software itself collaborates the line from the byline, for God's sake. Right? The system, the software, whatever it's called, has been working for years. It's been working more than you lot have had hot dinners. I don't know why these lot are what these lot are crying about. Honestly, take your L, man. They're really, really pinning me off at the moment. And
same here.
Yeah, look. On to the game. Well, I already spoke about the game. It wasn't convincing whatsoever. I thought the best three players on the pitch was Gabriel, Rice, and then Erdegaard, and then Zinchenko. I know I named four there, but Zinchenko was a standout for me. Right, Martinelli I thought was excellent. Saka had a poor game. Unfortunately, I've got to call him out. It doesn't mean I don't like him. It's just he didn't have a great game. It was rather ineffective.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but with Zinchenko, you said he had a very good game. I think he didn't do anything wrong. Obviously, it's the manager's choice for him to stay on that right-hand side, but I just didn't get why he was on that right-hand side. I said it in my fan cam. Why is he on that right-hand side if he's starting at left-back? It's almost like he's playing right-back.
I never spotted him on the right-hand side, in fairness. It felt like, honestly, in the first half, I was watching highlights. Really was. Because every time he was drifting into midfield, as he always does. So, I don't know. But he had a very good game. Ramsdale didn't have a lot to do, sorry. Højlund, in fairness, did cause us some problems. Wanted to be aggressive, this is me in the Premier League. But Gabriel's like, nah, aggressive is my game. Aggression is my game. So, yeah, I thought Gabriel dealt with Højlund really well. Ignore these United fans with their penalty. I mean, it's a contact sport. And if there's anything, he's grabbing hold of Gabriel as well. So, mate, I don't know where these United fans are coming from, as I've said multiple times already. All in all, the main stat is that we got the 3 points. So,
yeah,
can't say any more really.
For sure. All right, we're gonna move on to about obviously
Actually,
Thomas Partey news.
Sorry.
Go on, Tom.
Just quickly, when Luca said Ben White wasn't in the England squad and he didn't get the call up, there's been some news here from the England camp.
Ooh.
And it says here, don't know if you can see, Jack Grealish and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Hold on.
What happened?
What's happened? Breaking news.
Trent,
new video today.
Trent and Jack Grealish have both withdrawn from the England squad. So it opens up a spot for Ben White.
Oh,
yeah, but would he get picked?
Absolutely not, because it's Southgate.
But he's got to be. Which other right backs is there available? I can't think of any. Like Carl Walker.
I can't wait for James Tavernier to get the call up.
Yeah, what should be him or other Ben White? I'm telling you.
Yeah.
What other right backs?
It's probably gonna be Walker Peters or some.
Is Kyle Walker already in there?
Yeah.
No, not Kyle Walker. Walker Peters.
Yeah, but has Walker been picked already?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Let me look it up.
He's experienced.
Right.
He won't get picked because apparently they had beef in the World Cup or something with the manager or something.
Ben White had to go home.
Yeah, because he had a falling out with the assistant manager.
So Kyle Walker is there. Tamori's there. Colwill. Yeah. We have limited defenders for us. I mean, God. I wasn't expecting that.
Is Trippier there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm explaining to you. It's so bad.
I think with Trent out, it'll be a midfielder because he's been playing midfield for England. So it'll probably be James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting then. But yeah, all right. I'm going to move to Luca for this one. Obviously, you did all tell us, Luca. To be fair,
Yeah, I did.
I should listen to your tweets, Luke, every single day, man.
Oh,
Mate, you had some exclusive news about Thomas Partey like 3 days before it even got announced. So yeah, he's out for, is it 6 weeks? Yeah, officially.
6 weeks. 6 weeks. Well, technically, it's 4
6
weeks
weeks
because
officially,
it's
man.
a national break, isn't it? But technically, you use 2 weeks up of that, 13 days. So technically, it's 4.5.
So basically, right, with Partey being injured, I've seen so many of our fans turn on him and saying, January, get rid of him. He's injury prone. You know, there's a saying he's missed about 12 big games due to injury. Where you sound to us, Partey, you know, firstly, how big of a blow is it for Arsenal?
For
And
me,
do you agree with them fans saying that we should sell him in January?
For me, the first thing I will say about Partey, look, I think it's a massive blow. I was right in the first place. This fan base never believed in me saying, oh, Luca, it's fake, it's fake, it's fake. Well, my opinions on that is, right, is at first I thought it was fake. And then from there, I felt I started to believe it a little bit. And then 1 minute was saying it was 2 to 3 weeks, and someone saying it was 3 months. And I kept tweeting, saying it's not 3 months. It's not 3 months. But look, anyway, I think with Partey, I think it's a massive blow for us because yesterday, it rectifies yesterday's performance because when we had people like Kai Havertz in midfielders like that weren't really making the tempo very fast. We weren't really playing flow football. And when we have Partey, Rice and Odegaard, we are a different team. We play dynamic. We play very good, fast-paced football. And I think with Partey, we really, really miss him. And I get what people are saying about in January. Yes, sell him. But who can you replace in January? So I would give him until the end of the season, okay? Because there was rumours going around that Partey was going to leave this summer and go to Saudi Arabia. I don't know if anyone. I knew he was going to stay, right? I did have that little worry that someone was going to come in, but I reckon would we have actually got Caicedo if Partey left the football club? I don't think so because Arsenal wouldn't have paid a double £100 million players because one, would we get caught by financial fair play and we wouldn't have been able to actually gone out and buy players in January. So I think what Arsenal are going to do right here, I don't know if there's African Cup of Nations in January, but if there is, I think we need to look in that issue in January because we can't go with the midfield what we've got. And Partey for me is back in 6 weeks. So in those 6 weeks, we've got Chelsea to play away, and then we've got Manchester City. So we've got a hope Partey is back for those games. We have to be back because October, we've got Chelsea and Manchester City back to back. And that's going to be very, very key for Thomas Partey because we're going to need someone. If Arteta yesterday went back to basics, because who knows, if Partey wasn't injured and if the whole thing was fake, then I'll look silly for me saying that. And also, other people will feel like, would Mikel Arteta would have actually gone back to basics yesterday? He would have to go back to basics against Manchester United. Because if Partey was available yesterday, nobody wouldn't have known whether Arteta, what formation, because now he's realised and he's going to go back to basics, hopefully, not just only one game. And I think he will go back to basics because with Partey now injured, and if people want to offload him in January, who can you get? There's not really, nobody never knew who Lavia was. Caicedo, you get all these upcoming players, and we're saying, oh, these are world-class players. These players are good. Who can you get in January? Frankie de Jong. He ain't going to come. There was a rumour on deadline day last week that Frankie de Jong was named on the list, according to football.london. You really think...
What about Tchouaméni?
Tchouaméni, that's a good shout. But would he have actually leave and go out on loan from now until the end of the season? Real Madrid are in the Champions League. He's playing with the best midfielder in the world, Jude Bellingham. So, quite frankly, he is a good shout we should go and get. I think Nico Barella's an opportunity. You need someone like that who's going to come in. That's obviously in January.
We need someone that's world-class, Luca, if we do sell Partey.
There's not many defensive midfielders out there because now we've missed out on Caicedo and Lavia. I can't really think of anyone available.
Well, if we sell Partey, we probably get a pretty big fee for him. So maybe that means you go in for someone big, like, as you said, Tchouaméni or Camavinga, someone like that.
Yeah.
Someone
Luca,
big.
I don't know about Camavinga. He's in Real Madrid's first team, and there's no way they are going to sell him. And he plays at left back as well.
Yeah,
I know he can play.
There you go.
midfield.
He can invert.
Arteta loves versatile.
Yeah, but Luca, let me ask you this, right? Let me ask you this.
Absolutely
Now
invertible.
Partey's injured, right? For the time being, who do you play there alongside Declan Rice? Because Arteta's going to go Havertz, as we know. But in your opinion, do you go stick Fabio Vieira there? Do you stick what's his name, Jorginho there? Trossard played there against Nürnberg, I think. Smith Rowe maybe. Who do you
I
play?
think Jorginho. A lot of people might disagree with me, but I think Jorginho
I agree.
because of the experience, what he brings. And I know he doesn't perform every single game, but you can have him in most games where Arsenal need him because of that. I think a game like Everton away, you need that Jorginho, you need that physical presence, what he brings, that kind of leadership. I know he's not the quickest midfielder, but he does.
Did you just say physical presence?
Yeah. Why? What's up?
Physical presence? Are you sure, mate? I mean, Jorginho.
He's got that experience.
He's not the most mobile midfielder,
That's what I mean.
but I don't know. It's difficult because Everton will come with a low block because of Sean Dyche.
Especially Onana as well. He was a masterclass.
Yeah. And Jorginho, at least he can actually pass the ball.
But
But
who can we play?
mate, we said this about David Luiz. He had great
Zinchenko's
passing range,
ridiculous.
but if you can't defend what you've been brought to do, then nobody cares. I'm not too sure about him being physical though against players like Onana and Decore, which is why I wouldn't actually start Vieira or Jorginho, sorry, because
Who would you start alongside? Would you go with Kai Havertz? Would you go with Smith Rowe?
I don't know. I wouldn't play him in midfield.
Man.
I wouldn't play him in midfield. I would actually play him up top. Well, I know Jesus scored. You know what? That's difficult because Jesus is not suited for the low blocks, isn't he? Because he has the footwork, he has the agility. So I don't know. That's a difficult one. Obviously, that's a completely different fit, isn't it? Like it's 2 weeks now of boring international break. So.
All right, I'm going to come to Tom. Obviously, Thomas Partey's out for 6 weeks. Similar question to obviously what I asked Luca, right? How big of a blow is it for Arsenal? Do you agree with the fans who say we should sell him in January? If we were to sell him in January, you know, what ideal midfielder replacement would you like to see Arsenal bring him? And also, for the time being, who would you play instead of Thomas Partey?
Well, it's tough questions really. How big's the injury for us? It's very big. To be completely honest, very big because fans saying that he's our best player, our most important player. Ever since he's been playing at right back, nope, you can shove that. Like honestly, since he's been playing right back, it's got the fans baffled. Arteta's Partey himself has looked lost. He doesn't know what he's doing himself. And for me, I think it's as much it's a big injury loss. I don't think it's as big as people are making out it being because Kai Havertz is here and he's got a clause in his contract saying he's got to play a certain amount of games, meaning he's going to start against Everton anyway. Like, in terms of who I want us to bring in if we were to sell him, you know, I'm looking at CDMs here. There's really not that many options, to be completely honest. I mean, there's Goretzka, there's Kimmich, I don't know, Benacer from AC Milan. It's not a bad shout, but I'll probably go with Benacer, to be completely honest, from AC Milan. But
Former Arsenal player,
isn't he?
Yeah, he is a former Arsenal player. I forgot about that.
He's a quality footballer.
Yeah, he is a good player. I'd love to see him at Arsenal again. You know what? Reunite the band, get Gnabry in as well. But yeah, I mean, there's no question. I don't want to see Havertz playing at the moment but it will be Kai Havertz that starts against Everton. I'm confident. I will bet on that. Like,
Do you think it's the type
seriously.
of game where he'll score against Everton? Not to disrespect Everton, but it's the type of game where Havertz could score against Everton.
Oh, it'd be so Arsenal, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone criticising a player, saying he's played awfully, and then he goes and scores. But for me, I'd start. You know what? It is tough. Maybe either someone that's quick against them, physical players. So not Jorginho. Debatably Vieira, but I'd rather see Smith Rowe or Trossard. That's just my opinion. But yeah.
Fair enough. Personally, if it's for me, I agree. Luca, I'll go Jorginho, man. I'll go Jorginho.
Yeah.
All right, Rory, coming to you, man. Obviously, about Thomas Partey, massive blow for Arsenal, of course. But did you agree with the fans saying that we should get rid of him because he's very injury prone in January? And if we were, your replacements, and also who'd you start for the time being alongside Declan Rice?
No, you know what? I think I mentioned it on your fan cam at one point. I can't remember when, but it's a huge blow, and the fact he's coming back late October, and then he's going to the AFCON in January is also a blow. So we're not going to have Partey for 30%, 40% of the season. Depending on whether he stays fit from October onwards. So it's a huge blow. And I think another midfielder has got to be the priority in January. Absolutely. I think Partey, from an Arteta perspective, he's going to have one more season to justify his fitness. If he does not stay fit for a full season, and I know so far he hasn't, but say if he misses big games as we reach the crunch time of the season, then questions have got to be asked whether we have to get a replacement in, because don't forget, he's getting on now, right? He's 30. So we're going to move him on at some point, and I've got a feeling it's going to be next season. Or if we want to be very wise about it, we're probably going to end up moving him on in January. I was just looking through some replacements, and I mean, I'm not going to lie. There's not many. I mean, there's Locatelli, Fabian. In fairness, I would have taken Tielemans before he went to Aston Villa. I don't know about you, but I would have taken him. Premier League experience and...
Barella.
I think he's in his prime at the moment, Tielemans. So I would have taken him. Benacer's another one. Who else have we got? Goretzka. I mean, he was valued at around 35 million in the summer window. So we could have easily gone for him. I feel like Gundogan was a mistake. I think we should have probably gone after him. Oh, God. These midfielders are clapped. I mean, Fred, really? Etienne Capoue? Francis, oh my days, Francis Coquelin's here. Zubimendi, he's another one. I'm a huge fan of him. Danny Ceballos, bloody hell.
Would you take Danny Ceballos back? Because I think he's been pretty good for Real.
No, absolutely not. He could not even get in the Real Betis team, and I'm not even too sure whether he plays in that Real Betis team, if I'm being honest. And Real Betis are crap. I think they're fighting relegation in La Liga, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, come on, Rory. You're only 4 games in.
I mean, yeah, there's not really any replacements. I don't think we are going to find another Thomas Partey. And it is frustrating that we are picking up injuries every time at the start of the season. I don't know what it is. even before the season starts, we end up picking up injuries. I think last season was Fabio Vieira. We didn't get to see him until a long period of time. The season before was Gabriel and Partey, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't play at the start of the season. It's just a never-ending cycle with us. And this time out was Jesus, wasn't it? And Zinchenko. So, mate, our medical staff, I don't know what is going on. I mean, in fairness, I don't blame them for the Thomas Partey injury. That's nothing to do with them. The Timber injury is, however, because they informed to Arteta he is ready to ready to play in the second half against Forest. So, therefore, Arteta decided to play him for 10 minutes into the second half. But Thomas Partey, I mean, what is going on with this guy, man? Like, I don't know what it is. Have we signed the declining Partey? Don't get me wrong, when fit, he is brilliant. But have we actually signed the declining Thomas Partey when it comes to staying fit? Right? Danny Welbeck hardly got injured at Man United, and he comes to Arsenal. And wait, did he miss 2 years of football? Like, flipping hell. Right, he came back against Leicester, didn't he? And then he scored the winner.
Yeah.
In 2016. Jack Wilshere is a prime example, right? I watched him running rings around flipping Xavi and Iniesta, for God's sake. I thought, oh, wow, what a player. And then he gets injured year in, year out, which is why we actually got rid of him. And it's a shame because I really liked him. Right, when we were under Arsene Wenger in, I think it was 2018, when he came back from his loan, he was our best midfielder. And I was gutted that he wasn't in that England squad in the World Cup. But, yeah, I feel like he had to go because he just keeps getting injured. I feel like it's going to be a similar situation to Thomas Partey. I don't think he's going to sign another contract at Arsenal, and we're probably going to let him go for either free or we're going to let him go next summer. I feel like this is his last chance, last time for salute for Thomas Partey this season. If he does not keep himself fit for these big games especially, then I'm afraid you've got to cut your losses. And it's as simple as that. And it's unfortunate because I really like Partey. I feel like he's been a solid signing for Arsenal. I know it's not been the same Partey at Atletico Madrid, but I feel like so far this season, despite playing out at right back, last season was arguably his best season in an Arsenal shirt. And then all of a sudden, the season before, he had that purple patch and then he got injured again. So he always seems to pick up form and then gets injured. It is really frustrating, and maybe we're better off signing players who are actually injury prone, because you never know at that rate. I don't know. It's so annoying. I don't know who you would play alongside Declan Rice. I feel like that's why we needed another midfielder. Yeah. I mean, Lavia, he's too young, and now when he goes to Chelsea, we've missed out on Lavia. Darn it, we should have gone for him. Mate, I know we haven't seen him play at Chelsea yet, but still, perfect balance right there. Kudus, I feel like that was a mistake. I feel like we could have got him for a couple of mil, right? I don't think. I mean, you know what? I understand because of financial fair play.
Yeah,
sucks in the market at the moment. But Kudus is, he's a cold baller, and he can also do a great job on the right-hand side to provide backup for Saka, and we're just going to allow Pepe to leave. So we're sort of back in the same situation as we were last season. So it sucks, man. And with Tierney out on loan as well. Did he get injured at Celtic? I have no flipping clue. Probably not, but it comes to
Let me check his injuries.
He probably didn't, to be honest.
Yeah.
Tierney. Injury.
Yeah, like, even with
I know
him,
it was Partey. I know Partey definitely never got injured for Atletico.
yeah, like even with Tierney, even if he would have stayed, right, we can't rely on him to be our left back when Zinchenko is out injured because he can pull up at any point of during the season. It's just I don't know what's going on.
Injuries.
Are we actually allowing our players to get injured on purpose? Are we forcing them to jump from 8 feet ledges or something? Like, what are we telling them to do in training? I don't get it, man. I really don't.
All right, I'm gonna come to Luca. We'll move on to the next topic. I don't think I asked you guys about obviously the transfer window, which is end, right? I gave my rating of it. One question to you, Luca: have Arsenal done enough, which is required to compete again in the Premier League? Do you think?
For me, I don't think it's not been enough. I think the transfer window, I give it a 7 out of 10 because I think we started the window very perfectly. We bought Declan Rice, Timber, Raya, and Kai Havertz, but everybody got a little bit over the top a little bit, and it seems to happen every single summer that our fans seem to get overhyped up about it. But we don't know. You don't know what you expect from us. You could have a 10 out of 10 window. That's why little people get a bit hyper. But look, I don't think it's not been enough. I think we needed a Bukayo Saka backup because the only backup we've got is Reece Nelson. We're getting rid of Nicolas Pepe to Besiktas on a free. So quite frankly, I feel like if you're not going to bring a backup position, why did we not keep Pepe until January? Then get rid of him because I know he would only have 6 months on his deal, and he's probably going to be worth about 5-10 mil. But it's better than nothing at the end of the day. And I think with a Timber replacement, at the whole 4 signings, Timber's been our best signing so far. I know his Arsenal career has cut short, but when he comes back, are we going to know if he's going to be getting that Community Shield performance? I think he will. I think he will come back. It'll be like a new signing, as Wenger used to say. But I just look at it. We have not done enough in this transfer window. I think I wanted a striker, but we were never going to get a striker because last season we proved it when we were in a title race last season. We proved that we can score goals, and we proved it yesterday against Manchester United. So striker's not an issue. I think that we should deal with that for January. I think a Saka and a Timber backup, I think people would have given it a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. So I think this transfer window gets a 7 for me. I think it started well. In the last month or so, I think it's been bizarre. I think it's been dreadful.
For me, right, Luca, when going back to your striker point, in January, right, I think there's 3 main ones we should be looking at. I've always said about Ivan Toney. I think we're already looking at Ivan Ferguson from Brighton. He bagged a hat-trick against Newcastle the other day. I think 18 years of age, but they're going to want about 110 million for the player. I reckon Brentford only want 80 for Toney. And then you got Oshman from obviously Napoli, who's had a great season. We'll have to see how he does again this season. For you, Luca, what would be the ideal striker for January?
I think the ideal striker, I'd go for Ivan Toney. I like all 3 of them. I think 3 of them are class players. I would not pay 110 million for Evan Ferguson. I think that's over the top. I think Ivan Toney, 80 million. I think we should go and get him. He come out and said in a interview with the transfer window closed, he admires Arsenal. Does that give you a bit of a hint? Chelsea are looking at centre forward in January, maybe, because Christopher Nkunku is coming back around that sort of time in the new year. So they might not look for a striker, they might do. So I think we need to go for Ivan Toney. As soon as that January transfer window opens, if Arsenal really want to be serious, right, winning a trophy this season, then quite frankly, you've got to go for Ivan Toney. Knock on the door. Edu Nice and Richard Garlick, right, need to wake up. Because Edu, for me, did prove me wrong about the whole Declan Rice saga, but he did finish it off towards the end. And this is where I do think Edu gets things wrong, okay? But in January, if he's really that serious of this football club, then he's got to end up getting a striker and also bringing a couple of players. Because what additions would you bring in, Josh, in January? How many players would you bring in?
How many players would I bring in, did you say?
Yeah.
Can I just point something out?
Go on.
With the whole Partey situation, last season we play Man United, we lose him, and we lose 3-1. We lose Partey at home against Man City, we lose 3-1. We lose Partey again against Man United, we win 3-1. So that's the thing I would say that I feel like Edu's got right this summer, and that is we have adequate cover if Declan, not Declan Rice, if Partey does get injured, right? Because Declan Rice, of course, can fill into that role. So our CDM is sorted by any means. Like, we don't need to touch that area. It's just I feel like we need an out-and-out box-to-box midfielder, right? Granit Xhaka is doing bits over at Leverkusen, right? They are top of the league, and I was just reading some stat. I think I may have lost it, but here it is.
Should we get Xhaka for one more season?
4 wins, 19 goals scored, 3 goals conceded, and they're top of the Bundesliga. So, maybe we shouldn't have sold Xhaka, even though I feel like 25 million is a good deal. You would have bitten your hand off for that, and he wanted to go, because if Xhaka informed to Arteta, you know, I'm willing to stay another season, and I'm pretty sure Arteta would have kept him. But he's gone back to Germany. He's having a great time over there. He's supporting Arsenal back there, which is understandable because he's the longest serving player at this football club. Out of all the players from that season when we won the FA Cup in 2017, 2020. So, yeah, obviously he's going to be supporting the boys, but I feel like in comparison to Kai Havertz, like, bear in mind, Granit Xhaka was 30 when he left Arsenal, 30 years old, and Kai Havertz is 24. And don't get me wrong, Havertz has still got a lot of room to improve, but Xhaka has, as far as I'm concerned, has never played as a box-to-box midfielder. I mean, he played as a box-to-box midfielder at Mönchengladbach. For some miraculous reason, it took us 6 years to then play him in his right position, because we've been playing him for six whole years as a CDM, which is just not his game, because he doesn't rest his hopes on pace. So I felt like Xhaka was a huge blow, because at least he took shots on target. Right, Havertz doesn't. He's always looking for a pass. And look, we paid 30 million for Granit Xhaka, and he takes more. And he's a flipping CDM. Like, he's been playing in that position all year, not all year, for his entire Arsenal career, apart from last season. So I feel like that's what we've got right. We've got adequate cover there with Declan Rice, and we could actually win games without Partey for once. Because last season, we just resting our hopes on Thomas Partey not getting injured. That was what our season falled upon. Thomas Partey not getting injured. Right now, with Declan Rice in that position, I feel like I can be a little bit more comfortable with him there. So, yeah, I thought it would be worth pointing that out.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you there, my friend. And I agree. I think we should have kept him for one more season. I think he had a fantastic season. He's actually, I said it before, I think he's actually getting forward and scoring plenty of goals, man. And I never saw that for him before. He's always in the box. And, he really impressed me last season. But Luca, going back to your question, yeah, I forgot what it was now. You said, how many players do you think will sign in January?
How many players do you think will sign in January?
For me, I think the position we need is obviously, as we know, a striker. I think we'll get a striker in January. I think we know we need a backup right winner for Saka.
Left back.
Pepe's gonna go as well, isn't he?
Left back.
What else? Maybe a left back. Yeah, of course. A left back as well. You're right there, because Tierney's gone, Tavares is gone. We've literally got Zinchenko now.
But which left back?
Kivior, I guess.
Spinazzola, Luca. Get the Italian brother. Spinazzola.
Get Spinazzola, mate. Me and Josh will be watching Italy this weekend, so therefore get Spinazzola.
Isn't he a little bit too injury prone? But I guess. Maybe he only gets injured. Maybe he only gets injured at Arsenal. if he's injury prone at Roma. So
I think we need three players in January. I think. Well,
Yeah, I agree.
maybe 3 or 4, because
yeah,
we need a backup to Saka. We need a striker, and we need a left back for Timber. That is what we
Midfielder as
need.
well, with Partey being injured and going AFCON.
But we're not going to bring 4 players in. It's going to be 2 players, 2 to 3 players. That's what's going to be.
we need to
Alright,
do
I
what
wanna
we've
come
done this summer and
We have
give Arteta his number 1 targets, because we didn't last January, did we?
No,
We've got his second choices.
Yeah.
Jorginho for Casado, and you got Mudryk. Sorry, no, it was Trossard instead of Mudryk, which was a good move in the end.
Yeah. I want to come to Tom quickly. Tom, obviously, your thoughts on the transfer window. What would you rate it? Do you think Arsenal have done enough of the window to suggest that we can challenge for the league title again?
On deadline day, I wanted us to sign a midfielder, which obviously we didn't end up doing. I wanted us to sign a left back. I wanted us to sign quite a few defenders. Obviously, with Rob Holding going, it leaves a gap there. Did we even have as backup centre backs now? We got Saliba, Gabriel, then we got Kivior. Is that it? Because he played Ben White, Tommy Asu there. But for me, in terms of like ranking the window as a whole, you know, Kai Havertz, 65 million. Was it really worth 65 million? Probably not.
No
If we're going to sign Kai Havertz, I don't mind doing that, but maybe at least try and bring the price down. It seemed like, because the rumours came out and then 2 days later he was announced as an Arsenal player. It was like, did we even negotiate for this guy, or did we just pay pay for it? Like, normally we go in with start off with really low offers, but it sounds like we just went in with like 80 million for Havertz. Like, crazy, absolutely crazy. But Declan Rice, brilliant signing. Timber, I think he'll have a great career at Arsenal. Hopefully, it's not disturbed by injuries.
Hopefully, he isn't ruined after that ACL injury, because that looks a bad one, sadly.
Hopefully not. But in terms of incomings, I think probably could have used it with one or two more. And outgoings, Nuno Tavares, happily can say he is gone. Hopefully permanently if he plays enough games. Rob Holding, he was a good servant to the club. I'm gonna miss him, but maybe it was time for him to move on. Would you guys have kept Rob Holding?
No, I think he's a great servant. Like, he's won 2 FA Cups for us, didn't he? And he played both for the finals.
You've got to get that Arsenal furniture out of the club.
Really, not even for one more season?
Nah, it's rubbish.
Yeah, but
like if we want
we
to
could have got a
level,
defender in though to replace Rob Holding, to be fair.
Because
we sold him.
Title.
We sold him for less than we bought him for, and we bought him for £2 million.
Wait, how much do we send him for?
It's 1 million with add-ons.
Oh my god!
I know.
Just to think of it,
at that point, you might as well just keep him.
Yeah, just to think of it, Tottenham got, I think it was 15 to 20 million for Davinson Sanchez. And I'm like, really? And then we sold Trusty for 5 million as well. Like, we haven't even seen the guy other than pre-season. Like, that's the issue. We've got to be the worst at selling players. It's jarring, man.
And that's the problem that I've got with this window, and that's why I'm going to rank it so lowly. It's because Edu and Arteta and Arsenal as a whole have proved again that we just can't sell players. For me, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. For me, I would have liked more signings in it. With the players that we've sold, I don't mind selling them, but I'd rather have more money for them. Because if we're selling them for a price that low, we might as well just keep them. But yeah.
All right, Rory, your reign of the transfer window, my friends. Have we done enough to to make you confident that we can challenge for the league title again this season?
Yeah, I think we have done enough. from a titles perspective because at the moment we're picking up results despite not playing great. Right, last season, we ran out of steam by playing well. You know, we were on fire, and although I would like us to be a little bit more proactive when it comes to, as I said, selling players, because honest to God, it must be so frustrating. Like I don't know how. I don't really want to put Brighton into this situation, but honest to God, there's a huge grey area between us and Brighton selling players. It is honestly ridiculous. And Brighton have been in the Premier League for 7 years now. I don't understand it. Look, although Lee Gunner is a rat, right? I don't like him. I hardly watch him. But he did make a good point, in fairness, that the only body coming in to upgrade the positions that I guess we need is Kai Havertz, right? David Raya, I guess you can name him as an upgrade for Ramsdale, but Ramsdale hasn't done anything wrong so far. Timber was a Tierney replacement. Declan Rice was a replacement for Xhaka. So as I said, Kai Havertz is the extra body in there. So, I don't know. I know it wasn't necessarily part of the transfer window, and I know we already own these players, but I think people are forgetting that signing on Saliba was a huge deal for us, like arguably one of our best bit of business we have done this summer, bigger than signing Declan Rice, in my opinion. Reece Nelson, I guess that was something as well. I believe we signed Ramsdale up on a new deal in the summer window, if I'm not mistaken. So,
and Saka.
Yeah, so we've tied down them players up. But of course, they weren't part of the transfer business side of things. However, it was in the transfer window, and who knows? You know, we could have had Real Madrid, Man City knocking on the door for players like Saliba and Saka at that point. So, yeah, I will give, of course, credit to Edu for that, and of course signing Declan Rice. I think Timber was a good addition as well, but it's just my issue falls down to selling players, and I feel like we needed an extra body in there. I don't think we properly replaced Xhaka, although we brought in Declan Rice. Xhaka was playing that number 8 role, and when Partey is out injured, Declan Rice is, of course, going to revert back to the holding midfielder, and we're going to, of course, have either Havertz or, I don't know. I mean, we have nobody apart from Havertz in that position at the moment. Hence why I feel like we do need another midfielder. Whether it's another CDM, whatever, right? If you have Steele in the midfield, no matter of the positions, then it doesn't matter. Like, you might as well play Ben White as a CDM, because at least he can actually defend, and then play Declan Rice further forward, right? If you've got players who can defend in that midfield spot, then you're sorted, aren't you? Right? If you play players a little bit further forward, then yeah, there you go. Again, you're sorted, right? And just to deep it, Thomas Partey was playing as the right back anyway, and Declan Rice was playing as the holding midfielder just to fit Kai Havertz in. So, yeah. In terms of the transfer window itself and the rating, I would probably give it a 6, because I don't know, it's just signing up Saliba, Saka, like tying our players down early, that was a key, which is why it's not below average in my opinion. If we didn't sign Saliba, Saka, well, we knew that was going to happen 5 months ago. Ramsdale, and I guess Reece Nelson, but we signed the players that we have, Declan Rice and Timber, whoever, then maybe I would have rated this window as a 4 or a 3 out of 10 because our recruitment has been good and it was a good start to the window in fairness. But it's just selling players is the issue, in my opinion. It's just, nah. I mean, as I said, Davison Sanchez, Tottenham got 15 million for him. 15 million, and you're telling me for a centre back who has played for Arsenal of around 6 years now, right? John Xhaka, he is the longest serving Arsenal player, and you're telling me we only get 4 million for him. In fact, I don't even think we got 4 million for him. Was it like 1 million plus add-ons? It was, mate, ridiculous. I was baffled when I heard that. Yes, it's nice to get him off the wage bill because, you know, he was part of the previous Arsenal furniture from a failed regime. But come on, at least get some damn money for him. Like, I remember when we sold Leno for 7 million, and I'm there banging my head on the... Like, honestly, in fact, I wasn't banging my head on the wall. I wanted to plant my face on my wall for 24 hours when I heard Arsenal selling Bernd Leno for 70, God almighty, 7 million.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Other than, I mean, I guess the salesman for Balogun was pretty decent, like 30 odd million. I thought we got 50.
Yeah, I thought we got 50 as well.
But another thing as well I forgot to mention, right? We rejected 30 odd million for Nuno Tavares just for him to get sent out on loan.
Oh my
Like,
God.
what is going on there? Oh my days. But yeah, I'm still going to rate it a 6, despite all the things I've said. But, man.
Yeah.
I just wish we had directors like Brighton, and it's crazy to think that I am comparing us to Brighton when selling players, because considering them lot were a League One club a decade ago, it was...
It's mad. Honestly, it's mad. Like, Brighton is such a well-run club. The players they attract is unbelievable, and then they send them for all the big clubs coming for them. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something right at least. But yeah, guys, anyone else? Because I think we covered everything. Anyone else want to touch on anything that we've missed?
I don't think so.
England are winning the Euros.
Mate, good luck with Southgate, Tom, in charge, mate. Good luck, mate.
Oh my God.
Oh, I forgot.
Look, at least we got a new manager, innit? Lucio Spalletti.
Yeah, exactly. Luciano Spalletti. International football is coming up this week, isn't it? He did a watch along this week.
Of course I am. We got Macedonia, mate. Come on.
We're doing that after the game, yeah.
Macedonia.
Mate, if we lose again like we did in the World Cup qualifiers against them, it will be peak. It will be peak. Spalletti's first game, and we can't beat Macedonia again. It'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it? But yeah, guys, international break, 2 weeks, and then the Arsenal back. We've got Everton away, Goodson Park. Shout out to channels.
For that.
Luca, we're coming up, my friends. I know you're going to the Dons on Saturday.
What's coming up this week? Of course, tomorrow around 8:30. I put it on my community tab. I'm going to do a Q&A stream this week. I'm done for a little while. And then there's not really much this week to talk about. Probably maybe do a Italy match reaction on the weekend. And then I'm doing MK Don's vlog against Notts County. So, and then match reaction for Italy. So that's about it really coming up. And thanks for having me on this podcast.
Thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for taking the time coming on, man. Really appreciate it. Tom, you got anything coming up on your channel, my bro?
Yeah. as always, I've got content, ideas. Half of it don't come out though. And just quickly, aren't MK Dons in another relegation fight?
Mate, they're top of the league in League Two.
Oh, never mind.
Comparing
He's a
AFC.
Crawley. You support Crawley Town, don't you, Tom?
Oh yeah, we've had a very mixed season so far. We're currently 16th.
Dominic Telford for Cornley. Yeah.
We're currently 16th. I will probably do a Crawley day out vlog, match day vlog when they play Wrexham.
Cornley, is that near Brighton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro,
You know what?
gonna-
The nearest football club is Harrogate.
Yeah, Crawley and FIFA.
Harrogate.
Harrogate.
Harrogate Town. Luke Armstrong was supposed to come to Milton Keynes, but it never happened. So
Yeah, no, you know what? One of my mates did a career mode for Harrogate Town, and I think one of our deputy head teachers supports Blackburn, and then they lost flipping 8-0 in the first round of the Carabao Cup.
Oh, you should do MK Don's FIFA career mode, mate.
I should.
Yeah.
Did you see the story a few
Yeah.
years ago? There was this bloke. He was doing Football Manager, and he got to the Champions League final with Arsenal, and he set up in his lounge on a massive telly, sofas for his family all to watch, and he lost. And it was 4-0 at half time, and they all booed him off.
Rory, you got anything coming up on your channel?
You know what? It's rather quiet in terms of content on my channel. I mean, obviously the transfer window's closed, so I can't really do any transfers. In fact, the transfer window is still open in Saudi, so who knows? We could get transfer offers for players here and there. So Cedric could still be leaving, all right. So let's not panic. Pepe is unfortunately leaving for Besiktas. So yeah, I'm a bit gutted about that, but it is what it is. Yeah, obviously I'm just going to be supporting the boys on international duty. And then as soon as they get substituted, it's time to call off the stream in it with watching England. Like, that's what I do. Like, whenever Arsenal players get substituted for their nations, telly off, sleep. What an easy life. But yeah, look, there's not really much coming up on the channel, other than just, yeah, I can't think of anything really. It's just,
yeah, it's gonna be boring, man. It's 2 weeks off for
really
content. So yeah, guys,
Josh, when have you got an Italy reaction? I've done mine already.
An Italy reaction.
And
What do you mean?
Like what I did today, I've kept mine on there, so I haven't deleted
Oh,
it.
squad. Oh, the squad reaction.
Yeah.
Probably when I do my preview.
Oh,
I need to get North Macedonia fan, Luca. You know any?
no.
Any English speaking Macedonian?
with that. Macedonia fan TV.
Maybe type it on Twitter.
Mate, yeah, I'll tap on Twitter and try and find them. But yeah, yeah, the previews of that will be out. What day is it? Is it Saturday we play?
Saturday.
Yeah. Saturday 5:30, I think.
7:45.
Do England play the same time as Italy?
Yes.
What, 5:30 as well?
No.
Or are they at 8 o'clock?
England play 5 o'clock. Italy play 7:45.
Oh,
I don't even know who we play.
We're playing Ukraine.
Yeah, who's England playing?
Ukraine, do me a favour. I mean,
Zinchenko and Mudryk.
Mudryk against England.
yeah, in fairness, Saka sat Mudryk down in the first fixture. So
Did you beat them last time? I think
Yeah,
I think you
it was
did.
2-4.
Yeah, Saka scored a beauty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then Kane scored, didn't he?
Yeah,
He got a goal and an assist.
Yeah.
Have you guys played Macedonia yet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Saka got his hat trick.
7-0.
Oh, that was against Macedonia. Oh, yeah, that's when you backed them at 8-0 or something. Oh, mate. Luca, if we don't score at least 5 goals, we're going to be embarrassed.
Embarrassing. I found Macedonia's.
You lot better take notes.
I found Macedonia's Twitter page.
You found a Macedonian?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we could do. We could set up the stream on.
All right, guys, we're out of here. Yeah. Go on, Tom.
All right. Tell you what we could do. We
I
could
like
set up the stream on here. Yeah. Because it's like different times. So we could set up the stream. We could watch the England game and then we can watch the Italy game. We'll get banging watch time hours, won't it?
Yeah, I mean,
We should do that.
I'll
We
probably
should do
end
that.
up
We should
falling
do that.
asleep
Yeah.
throughout the stream, so it's probably going to be hell boring.
Yeah.
But it'll be lit in terms of the panel itself, but the football,
Terrible.
goodness gracious me.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, guys, we're out of here. We'll see you guys soon. Obviously, I'm back tomorrow as always. And yeah, shout out, people. We're out of here. Come on, the Gunners.